And there we go. Now we're starting. Kathy, aloha. And just starting the show right now. And welcome everyone. Glad to have you all on board. And those darn magpies obviously are timing this with the start of the show, using the water for the bunnies as a bird bath again. And just right when I start the show, and they know I'm busy. So I won't go there and bug them. Anyway, welcome everyone. Glad to have you all on board today. It is October the 4th, and it is a sunny day here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, where it is about 20 degrees right now, Celsius that is, and not too bad of a day considering it is October the 4th. So we like it. Anyway, glad to have everyone on board today. And we'll start out by saying hello to our wonderful moderators. Arizona Snowman, Piggy, C&D Boy will be along soon, I'm sure. And 24/7 Live, AZ Skies. Gary is probably hiding in the background as well. And we're not too worried. There's not that much going on here right now anyway. So that is what we're seeing. And of course, I did speak with Piggy today. She's a bit better, but still, having a lot of things going on for her there. And there's more to the story, but I don't want to say too much anyway, with the two Scotties passing away, it was bad for her, but it is what it is, and we understand nature does take its course. So not much we can do about it. And anyway, we need to continue on with the show here. So our first person in today was Sue Hayes. So Sue gets the cookies. Yay, Sue. And there we go. And that is pretty awesome. And Piggy and Arizona and others probably hiding in the background. We're all good with that. And we'll start saying hi to everyone in here, though. And we'll start with Andy Morgan. Welcome. Of course, we already got Sue Hayes. Sasha is back. John Raper is here as well. Going up. Kathy, aloha to you. And welcome. Kevin Haynes on board. Grandma B is here. Welcome, Grandma B. And King Colin Deadman also in the house. Welcome, thy royalty. Oh, too much fun. Going up a little bit more here and seeing who else we've got. Okay, we got those guys already. They're a chatty bunch. Henry Nelson also in here. Welcome, Henry. And going up a little bit more, looking for more wonderful names. And we got Kevin, we got Kathy, we got John, and boy, you guys talk lots. Linda Schoof is here. Welcome, Linda, and she's going to be lurking or in the Lurkers Lounge, just like Nancy Buchanan is as well. So welcome, Nancy and Linda. And OneFish26 also in the house. Good to have you back on board. Going up a little bit more, looking for other wonderful names. Echo Echo the bot. Welcome back. Glad to have you on board. Anyway, going up a little bit more, looking for more wonderful people. And let's see who else we can find real quick. Lizoid, welcome. Glad to have you on board. And of course, Oz is here. Oz, I still didn't get that darn email. I hope you got the right email address, as in DrFox@shaw.ca. Hopefully you got that right, and we'll see. I think you mentioned before that you boo-booed once before with that email address, so it might be the same again. I might have to email you just so you have it. Anyway, a few Lux is also in the stream, so I'm glad to have you on board. I don't see any other names right now, and going back down to the bottom and trying to see, hey, Tom Dice and Pepper hugs you back, Kathy. Ooh, Pepper and Tom are here, and that's awesome. Let's see, did I miss anyone else on the bottom here while I'm going? Looking, and I don't see anyone else. We got Andy earlier, so I think we're just about good. All right, let's go with the flow here anyway, and we'll get at things. Of course, I have the canned lava on the screen from the 15th of August, and we'll get rid of that big banner. And there we go, and we'll kind of leave, well, we can get rid of that little banner too, since we are leaving that page for a minute or so, or a little bit longer, we'll see. We'll turn that off as soon as my software allows me to. Come on, software, why are you misbehaving? Okay, pause, there we go. Love having that power. Anyway, I'm going to pop over and take a look at what it looks like in Iceland right now. And of course, there you go. That is the city of Reykjavik. And we'll go back a bunch of hours just to see what kind of a day they were having. And you can see that it is fairly cloudy and gloomy. Let's pop over to the other ones here, and a little bit of shake on that camera tells me that it's a little windy there. And we'll get this one here, and of course this is the aluminum smelting plant right here, and you can see Kaleir right here, and there you can see the top of Ragnar, and that is where it's sitting. If you notice, the waves are pretty heavy, and that is telling you that they have pretty rough seas right now. Well, at least a few hours back at 7 p.m. roughly, and I'm sure it hasn't changed too much, and we can see the camera still shaking, so that's what we've got there. Anyway, let's see what else we can find real quick. Looking at the harmonic tremor chart, I'm going to refresh that. I know I did it not too long ago here, but we'll refresh it anyway, just so we're right up to date. There we go. And interesting stuff. We see one big spike in here today. And of course, this is for our Ragnar, our Fagradalfjall area, if you want to call it that. We do see an upward trend, which is actually a good thing. But I don't want to hold my breath for waiting for a volcano to pop open. We do see some extra little tremors in here as well, and that is always interesting, and does tell us that there is some activity down on the bottom. Something is rising, yes, perhaps. And we'll take another look at it in different light later maybe, but for right now, let's scoot down and take a look at the Grimsey chart next, since that is first when we head down here, and look at the one from Grimsey. That is going all the way up here, and very, very interesting. And this is also up. Makes you wonder, are we going to see an eruption up by Grimsey after all? Mind you, it's been up that high before and we've had nothing. So seeing this heading up, though, could be an encouraging sign of some sort. Let's have a look at the other one from Grindavik. And there it is, our Grindavik chart. And it doesn't seem to be rising as much as the one at Fagradalfjall. So I don't know. We'll take a look and see, but it is rising. So I'm wondering if we're getting something happening specifically at Fagradalfjall, or are we just seeing, overall rise? And that usually happens in these places as well. And that's a kind of a thing that, looking at these charts, they aren't necessarily that accurate if we have a complete island-wide disturbance happening, and they'll all kind of show the same thing, an upward rise. Welcome, Lucas. Glad to have you on board. And let's see what else we got going on here. So that is our harmonic tremor charts. We'll have a look at the earthquakes in the area. And I'm trying to get myself over to the right map here. There we go. All right. So looking at what we've got, last 24 hours, we see 42 quakes listed here. So 42 is not that many, and definitely down from what we've seen previously. So let's have a quick peek and see. First up, gonna check. We don't see anything way out in the water here. And down on the bottom, the last one we see on the bottom here is at that 2.2. So we'll check up here by Grimsey first, zoom in a little bit and see what we're seeing. 1.6, this happened at 2304, so brand new one. 1.6 in magnitude, 10.8 kilometers down for that guy. And that is okay. 39 minutes after midnight, 1.64 kilometers down for him. And then we've got a 1.7 magnitude, 9.6 kilometers down from 1515. We have this 1.6, 10.1 kilometers down from 1531. And a very small one here, 0.1, 5.2 kilometers down from 2:15 a.m. Then a 0.9, 5 kilometers down, and that was 16:45 for that guy. Moving along, a 1.2, and that is 1.5 kilometers down, 23 minutes after midnight, and much fresher, 1.3, 5.5 kilometers down from 21:10. And looking a little bit more at some of these other ones here, 0.9, 6 kilometers down, 5:43 a.m. And then a 1.1 magnitude, 5.4 kilometers down from 1706, and a 1.2, 4.8 kilometers down from 10:55 a.m. And then this 0.56, 4.7 kilometers down. Dyslexia took right over. That is actually from yesterday at 23:31. And let's take a look and see what else we've got as we slide down a bit. Not seeing anything at Astja. We do have this 1.3 over here, 3.4 kilometers down from 2014. And we'll catch some of these other ones in a second. So Astja has nothing. This be Grimsvatn, I do believe, and or very close to it. I think. No, hang on. That's a little further south. Grimsvatn be right here. So that's a little further south. That is 0.8, 9.1 kilometers down from 1626. And we'll zoom in here, and this is Grimsvatn, and we've got a 0.4, 3.4 kilometers down from 1626, and we also have a 1.3, 3.1 kilometers down from 1524. And let's see what else we have in the area. That's it for that area, and let's grab these two and just see what they're doing. 0.5, 4 kilometers down from 1909, and the other one is, hang on, where's the other one? A 0.7, 9.4 kilometers down from 1907. It was a fine year. Anyway, having a check on this one, 1.7, 3.2 kilometers down, 9:42 a.m. Another 1.9 here. 5.3 kilometers down from 7:51, and then we have this guy here, a magnitude 2.3, 3.7 kilometers down from 10:58, and then we have another 1.8 here, 5.2 kilometers down, 13:37 is the time on that guy. And of course, that is Katla area. And not sure if that really is going to do anything for us. That 2.3, if we see a bunch more in Katla's area, that might indicate something. But right now, just seeing independent little quakes like this, it really isn't showing the power that we need to have an eruption there. So, hey, Bananapus is here, welcome, and Rick Van Ejek also made it in, and good to see you. And let's carry on with the other earthquakes here. 0.8, 5.1 kilometers down, 2050 on that guy. And we'll zoom in a little bit to split these other ones up. We got a 1.1 from 1703, 2.9 kilometers down, and there's two stacked on top of each other here. 0.8, 3.6 kilometers down from 1650, and the other one is also from 1650, 0.9, 3.1 kilometers down. Very, very close together. I wonder if that might not just be the same. A 0.1, 5.2 kilometers down from 1644 there as well. Sliding down a bit more, we see this 1.7, 5.2 kilometers down, 9:35 a.m. and 1.0 or a magnitude 1, 8.4 kilometers down, 7:02 a.m. Iceland time. We still see this 0.5. This time it's on the coast side of the highway. Yesterday it was on the other side, so still shaking there a bit. 0.4 of a kilometer down, not very far, and that came in at 6 p.m. Iceland time. Okay, so now we're going to have a look at the rest of the Reykjanes Peninsula, and for those who aren't familiar with it, this of course Reykjavik, capital city, and there's the Keflavik airport, Keflavik, Reykjanesbær, Jarðvík. And then when we slide down a bit, we see Grindavik right here, and of course sliding up, there's your Blue Lagoon and the power plant. A Blue Lagoon power plant is here, and there's a hotel there, and that's pretty cool to see. Anyway, let's have a look and see what we've got here. So over here is Krýsuvík. And these two, not very big, 0.8, 5.5 kilometers down, and that is from 1806. And we have a 0, 5.2 kilometers down, 1758 was the time on that guy. Now we get into our area. Of course, this over here is Keilir, and this is a 1.04 kilometers down, 6:30 a.m. That is likely our big spike, and we'll take another look at that on, what was the time on that? 6:30 a.m. So yeah, we'll have a look and see if that matches the chart. But anyway, our Ragnar is located here, and our Siggy Fisher right about there, and they call this area Fragalfjall. And let's zoom back out and get a little bit closer to Grindavik, a little tiny guy here, 0.1, 3.6 kilometers down, 7:25 a.m. For that guy. Nothing else in that area. Don't see anything over by the Blue Lagoon. We have another 0.1 over here, very small quake, 4.9 kilometers down from 1402. And then we have this 0.7, 5.1 kilometers down from 34 minutes after midnight. Really nothing scary to write home about. We have a 1.4 there, 600 meters down, really, and 10:07 a.m. For that guy. And then we see a 2.2 out here in the water. It's 1.1 kilometers down, 10:06 is the time on it as well. So that's our earthquakes for our wonderful area. Yeah, Piggy would be lurking, Bananapus. She's still still trying to recover a little bit from, well, a whole bunch actually, from losing her wonderful Scotties. Both of them had passed away within days of each other. So, if you're not aware of that, but that's kind of what it is. Imagine the mud pool Piggy got facing when the cometh forth. Oh, I think her mud pool may have dried up a bit. They're waiting for rain there. She's gonna make a new mud pool, and or try to as soon as it rains. And they need water. Anyway, yeah, that's kind of where they're at. Anyway, we'll pop over to the other map real quick, and looking at it, it really doesn't look any different than what we're seeing on the other one. We've got the one out there. Of course, that's not going to show unless I zoom in on it, but really nothing major or different anywhere on the other map here. So we're going to leave it be and not worry about that. And of course, there, Arizona Snowman, welcome, and he brought up the earthquakes, and now Lucas brought up earthquake too. So, and all right, no worries. So let's see what else we got going on. I'll be yonder. All right, in the Lurkers Lounge. Okay, and not a worry. And yeah, speaking of earthquakes and things, I did want to mention that we are still seeing more earthquakes. I got to get myself on the right map here, where to go. There it is. And of course, looking at our there's Iceland, and there's the Reykjanes Ridge, going all the way down here, and we see more continuing earthquakes happening in this area. That swarm is kind of settling down a bit, but we are still seeing quakes there. 4.5 from 8:58 a.m. Their time, and another 4.5 from 5:01 a.m. So there was a couple of others in between yesterday and today as well, just so we are aware of it. One of the things that we don't see on this map, we've had some earthquakes here in Canada. I did not feel the earthquake that we had here in Alberta, but there's one here, and the distance to Edmonton is about 250 kilometers roughly. It was a 2.9, happened at 7:06 a.m. and I didn't feel it. So if it happened, I don't know about it. Zooming back out, we also did have another one up here in the Yukon, a little bit bigger, 3.0. That was at 9:26 a.m. Just thought I'd throw those in, and that is up in the Northwest Territories, just about on the Yukon border. So pretty cool to see that, and I don't know, just haven't had many earthquakes here in this region, so I figured I'd share those real quick with you guys. Anyway, we'll take a look at earthquakes around the world later on. Let's pop over to Sicily right now and have a quick look and see what it is like there. Of course, in the dark, hard to tell what's going on. We do see a star up there on the left-hand side, and I gotta turn my mouse back on that page there. Now we can see it right there. So a little speck. No, it's not lint on your screen. It is actually a star, and that's what we were seeing. If we go back and have a look at their day, again, wasn't very pleasant as far as we can see, and that is what you kind of see there. And let's see, I don't think I even got a chance to load the video file that I did make for today. And let me see if I can locate that real quick. And I got one from earlier this morning. It was a little bit more clear then, so as soon as my computer catches up, I'll make it bigger. There we go. And of course, this is a time lapse, so everything is moving a lot faster than it normally moves. And you can see that we are getting continuous off-gassing from our wonderful Mount Etna, of course, and this is on Sicily. And then you'll see how these clouds develop. This is really weird. And poof, it's like magic. Those clouds just appear and bury everything in the whole works, and then they start moving along. It's really kind of odd to see that, and then they dissipate again. So I don't know what the heck. It must have been just hitting that right temperature to create them, and then also take off. But then afterwards, a whole weather system did move in and caused us not to be able to see a darn thing anymore. So that is what the view is like there right now. If Piggy is what? For you folks, I'm going to make a statement. And if Piggy is listening, for you too. Okay, go ahead, Banana Puss, make a statement if you like. And that is all right. And hopefully everything is a good statement, right? Positive, and that kind of thing. Anyway, that is kind of what we were seeing today at our wonderful Mount Etna in Sicily. Unfortunately, no lava, no eruption, and steaming, and still throwing off a lot of SO2, but no real heavy activity as far as seismic activity. When I checked, the charts were fairly down, so that is kind of where we're sitting, and we'll leave that be with that. So let's carry on, and we will move to our next volcanoes that we want to have a look at, and of course that is in the Azores. I work on an animal sanctuary for 12 years. Before that, I was born and brought up on a farm. Okay, makes sense, Banana Puss. And I haven't worked at an animal sanctuary, but I was brought up on a farm too, kind of, sort of. And anyway, go ahead if you want to put more there. Anyway, we're on the island of Sao Horte, well, or how do they say it? Well, Sao George in English. And hey, Tom, welcome. And anyway, the lights we see in the distance here, that is Pico Island. For those who don't know, this is the harbor down in front, a little town right here, and that is kind of what we're seeing. Daryl R popped in too, welcome, and Tom, welcome. Yeah, I got it, Lucas. Jorge. Sao Jorge. No, what is it? Sao Jorge is more probably pronounced, but I'm going to call it Sao George because that is what most of us are calling it. Anyway, that's the island we're on, and this is what it looks like during the day, just so you know, for those who aren't familiar with that shot. And you can see the harbor down below. And next shot, of course, will be of not that one, of this one here, which is the little cove that we take a look at for watching the waves come in. So let's pop onto that one. And unfortunately, with the dark out, it's hard to see, but we check down on the forefront here to see how much white water we see. And if it's really rough, you'll see a lot of white, but if it's not too rough, we see just a little bit. So that is what we've got. And let's see, I'm having to say good night. John Raper saying good night, nodding off here. All right, John, take care and get some sleep, buddy. and all the best to you. Okay, Banana Puss says, I have a lot of various animals coming through my hands over that time. I've lost some friends over these years, but the memories of all those friends stay with me. There were some favorites, okay? Anyway, let's continue on here. And sorry, got to clear that throat. And anyway, there we go. Getting that screen on the right size. Looking at the amount of earthquakes, and I see we've had a couple more since I last checked. And there is one right there, 1129, 1.7. The next one, also a 1.7 from 1228. Then we have a 1.6 from 1340. And we have a 2.1 from 2041. And the latest one there was 2151 for that 1.8. And that is pretty cool. Now this 2.1, it's showing power level between a 3 and a 4. So that for intensity, it may have been felt there by some of the local folks. Let's get over to the next one, which is the other map that gives us a little bit more of an idea of what's going on. Since I see extra ones, I'm going to refresh that, and we'll take a look here. And there we see, zoom in the other way, different pages. There we got the 4 on, or 5 on, let's say, St. George, and there's a 1 hour 36 minutes ago for that 2.2, 2.3. Well, okay, these are a little bit bigger in value than the other guys were showing. 2 hours 47 minutes ago for the 2.3, 10 hours ago for a 1.6, 11 hours ago for a 2.0, and 12 hours ago for a 1.7. So definitely different values indicated by the different sites. Not sure what the heck is going on with that. We do have a 2.8 14 hours ago there, and 7 hours ago for 2.0, and down on the bottom here 2.1 16 hours ago. Gives us a pretty good idea. This is Fayal Island, Pico Island, and of course St. George. And we'll zoom out and just double check here. I don't see any others. Nothing down here. And of course there you can see the red line here. That is the divider between there's the Eurasian plate and the African plate right here. And of course that is the mid-Atlantic ridge coming down here, and that is the North American plate. So that's what we see there. And of course zoomed out you can get a little bit better of an idea what it looks like. There you go. So Portugal, Spain there, and Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, and I guess New York, somewhere around there. Anyway, you can kind of tell where that is. And of course Iceland up there, and that is pretty awesome. But yeah, they don't show those other ones on the ridge that are right here before the turn, and that's kind of what we've got. Hey, it's Pepsi time. I do have to do that. I need to take that break, so I will put you back on some canned lava here as soon as my screens change, and we will get things going again. And there we go. Got it rumbling. Turn the little banner on so people don't get confused. And here comes some music, and we'll see how that goes. And for those good people who haven't hit that like button yet, please give it a quick shot if you can. Also, if you haven't subscribed and you want to get into the chat, I'm very friendly bunch of people in here, so by all means feel free to do your thing and pop in and hit that subscribe button. 1 minute later you can be chatting. On that note, I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Don't go away. Thanks. And that microphone is back on. Welcome back, everyone. I'm glad to have you all on board. I see David got here. Welcome, David, and a nice launch. Sharon Stewart says, I hear you. Thanks, Sharon. And welcome back, Doc from Sue. Thanks. And of course, we are watching canned lava from back in August. One fish says, I hear you, Dr. Fox. And thanks, Sasha, for the welcome back. And let's turn that off for right now. Of course, we've got that sitting there. Anyway, let's go over to Mexico. That'll be our next wonderful place to go. And put on your parkas. It's cold and snowy. Look what happened to Popocatépetl. Brr. It's a frosty place. Definitely a frosty place. I don't know if I like that, but that is what's happening there. Lots of snow all of a sudden, and we do see it. Long underwear and my mics. Yeah. Yikes is more like it, but that's what we're seeing right now. Anyway, when we get back a little bit to the wee hours of the morning, we'll get back to just as the camera changed color. That is about 11 hours and 30 minutes ago. And that is kind of where we're at. And if we go ahead a little bit, well, you can see it's off-gassing at that point at 6:48 a.m. If we go ahead a little bit, it changes to color, gets our golden view here. But please note, there is no snow. And that snow is... what? Never to sneeze snow again. Yeah. Until you got here. And of course, this being Mexico, you wouldn't think that you'd be seeing snow there either. But that is what we've got. So unfortunately, and when we move that ahead a little bit, it wasn't bad for the time period of it being clear out. And we were seeing various different little extra poofs of gas and possibly some ash coming out of there as well. Not a heck of a lot though, and it did continue to keep smoking and that, but then the clouds started moving in, and these of course are white fluffy snow clouds, right? And then it did this, and it was hidden for a long time, and we didn't see it. We had that beautiful volcano gray, and you can actually see there were some raindrops coming down right at the camera location, and then, you know, obviously precipitation of sorts, and then the next thing that we see is snow cover, and it was snowing there, building up a little bit. That's about 4.5 hours ago, you guys. And then they had some more clouds move in, and let's see where we start to see it, and right about there you start to see without clouds again, and definitely a lot of snow on there and now. And it didn't take long to get that snow, and that is what we've got. Anyway, you can see it pluming off more gas in that particular shot from 1820 their local time. And if we go back to live, that is this right now. So 1842 their time, we see it continuing to off gas, do its thing, and doing stuff. Mountains have snow, like lakes have alligators. Yeah, I seen your comment about the fish were jumping there, Dave, in the pond, and that was nice. But I'm wondering if they're trying to avoid the alligators. I don't know if that happens there, but anyway, that's kind of what Popocatépetl is looking like. Go to the other view. That is the shot from the other angle, and again, you can see quite a bit of snow on the top of the mountain. up near the caldera. So pretty wild, pretty awesome, pretty cold, and that is kind of what we've got there. Let's carry on. Of course, this is Popocatépetl, about 70 kilometers south of Mexico City. So let's go down to Fuego, and Fuego is in Guatemala. And of course, there we get our wonderful volcano gray. Let's see if we can go back far enough here and see if we can catch this thing without clouds on it. And unfortunately, it doesn't quite go back far enough to show us the eruptions at nighttime, but we did have one, and I'm glad we can still see it. And that was about here. You can see the amount of black, very dark ash coming out of there. Oh, I shouldn't call it black, but it's definitely very dark, full of all kinds of pyroclastic material. You'll have dust and different ash material in there, and you can see it rolling down the hill here, indicating that there were some lava bombs coming out of there, if you want to call them that. Big chunks of tephra, etc., etc., and that is a typical eruption there at Fuego in Guatemala. And it did that a few times, and you know, it keeps doing it. We're just really kind of trying to catch the ones that are bigger. Here's another one, 6:28 a.m. And again, it was doing basically the same thing as the last one there, where it is throwing material down. You can see that by the dust and ash coming down the side of the hill as well, and definitely doing some smoking. And yep, let's see, there was a bunch more here, little guys in between. I just don't recall anything really big after that. Here's another one. This was from just about 7:30. Yeah, that's what I wrote down anyway. Let's see, this one here had this looked kind of weird. The clouds were actually moving up the side of the mountain, which is kind of weird looking, but that was there. And then of course, if we go on, it looks like they were actually pluming off, and then we did get an eruption. Just one quick shot out of there. I don't think there were any extras, and of course that created a whole bunch of cloud, and I think there might be more gas coming out of this thing, heating up that air and causing more condensation. Oh yeah, there is a second one in there. Just barely see it, a little bit of ash in the background. But that's kind of it for Popocatépetl, or sorry, for Fuego, my bad. And I think here was another one about there. Yeah, you could see at the tops of it, I had 9:03 written down here as a time. So that's kind of what we're seeing there. It wasn't anything too impressive because it was hiding behind the clouds. And going on, there were a few more, but again, clouds in the way. I'm not going to worry about those guys so much. If we carry on, yeah, the rest was pretty much all volcano gray, so we're not going to see a heck of a lot. We'll check back on it later. I did try to find other shots here. I tried Momotombo, and we aren't seeing a heck of a lot from that volcano, although it is an up-to-date picture. It's just not showing anything. And of course, still stuck on the 29th of September with this guy here, and that is Messiah volcano. And of course, that is the caldera of Messiah, and that's actually from the 10th. And both of those that we just looked at there, that's in Nicaragua. I'm going to put it back on Popocatépetl, and we'll move on to our next one. And this is brand new island forming between UK and Newfoundland. Ooh, it's still underwater, under the sea, but it's looming. Ah, it's looming, eh? You think that that spot where we're seeing all the quakes there at the end of the Rikers Ridge, you think that we're going to get something happening there, perhaps? That would be interesting, definitely. But anyway, the spot I'm actually talking about is this guy here, and if that is what you're thinking, and that is right there where our swarm is. So it's possible. I'm not going to say it's not possible, but definitely could happen. And if that is there, and then we do get another island there, that'll be very, very interesting. But anyway, let's get back over to Merapi, and let's see if I can get on to something. Merapi again didn't make me very happy, so just got to get on the right one. The quality of the picture is just not that good. Anyway, going back, it was not bad. 5 a.m. You can see some of that material sitting up top here, some dust and ash from a previous time here. Let's see if we can back that up a little bit to see how that rolled in. We'll go back 10 seconds at a time, and yeah, you can kind of sort of see that it had a path there, and it was something that did come out of the volcano, so it's kind of nice to be able to see a little bit of an eruption. Oh, what the heck happened there? And I don't know what happened there, but it decided to take off on us. Anyway, yeah, so earlier, that's kind of the view, and then it didn't take long for it to be back into a volcano gray again, in and out of the shots, unfortunately. So, yeah, Merapi not doing us any favors today. Let's have a quick peek over at Ruapehu in New Zealand. And I did not check this earlier, so I wasn't aware of what was going on there. And of course, rain, and we are seeing a lot of it there. If we go back about 5 hours or so, and yep, more rain. What about just 3 hours ago? We had a little bit of sunshine in there, but clouds still covering Ruapehu, and it would be back there. So I'm not going to see that guy today. And that is kind of what we've got there. And Samaru is buffering again. Boy, that does not surprise me. What is buffering? Where is it? Why am I not seeing it? Oh, there. And let me see if we can go over to the other one and just refresh this, see if they've got the other one showing. Yep, so we'll go there, and there is your Krakatau. Let's see if we can get a better view. Okay, so the caldera for Krakatau right there, and you can see the longer distance shot right there, and you can see the amount of gas coming off of this. So if it is doing something, it's doing a good job at it, throwing a lot of material out. And of course, we're looking at it from this, from the other side here. So we're not seeing the smoke. So we're seeing that shot going that way, and it basically hides everything. And that camera's down here on the forefront here somewhere, and that's kind of where it's at. So if the gassing material is heading over to the other side, we're not going to see it plume up. Let me see if that refreshed. No, it didn't. I'm going to refresh it, and we'll stay on this one for a second. And actually, let's look at the other ones from this one. Complete screen here, and they're showing Merapi here on this one, so we can actually see it on this camera, which is actually nice. And let's see which one. They've got Ibu right there. So these two bottom shots are from Ibu, and you can definitely see a plume going up into the sky. Not so visible on this camera, but definitely over here it looks like it's coming from Ibu anyway, and that is pretty cool. I still can't read the other one. It's so washed out and so small and blurry that you can't make anything out. Double checking, it is on 720, that's what they're sending it at, so I can't see that. Okay, and yep, we're still buffering on the other one, unfortunately. Let's see if that works. Takes us back a little ways, and that's kind of what we were seeing there for the most part. Let's see if we can go back a little bit more. A little bit of glow at the top, but we had a close-up here. Where's that close-up? Well, maybe they didn't get close. But anyway, right there you can see what we've got going on there. Let me flip this around. There we go. And you can see it is got glow. It's got some lava up top, but we're not seeing anything flowing down here. So all pretty good. I need a static lava reserve. Strategic lava reserve. Okay. Yeah, we do. Anyway, I did watch a very interesting video today from Professor Valentin Troll in regards to what the hypotheses were for La Palma, and he showed some very, very interesting stuff that was going on there, and I thought that was pretty darn cool. So I think if you guys haven't checked him out, Valentin Troll, and yeah, Trool as the last name, and he is a professor, German guy, trained in Oslo, and he does a bunch of stuff there. So pretty awesome to see what he does have for information, and very, very informative. So worthwhile having a look at. And maybe what I'll do is I'll drop some of his links in here in the future with some of the very, very interesting little videos that he's put out. And of course, he's kind of a rock guy, so he likes active volcanoes, and that's his specialty. So really cool to see. Anyway, this is what Semeru was looking like earlier in the day, and wow, or the night, I should say, 22:24 at their time. So that's what we got, and that'd be cool. All right, let's get over to our next one here. We'll leave that be, and we'll get over to Sakurajima in Japan. And of course, Sakurajima is busy right now. It's definitely doing some off-gassing and throwing out some material. Come on, change. Why are you not changing? Computer, I changed the screen. I clicked on it. There it is. About time. Anyway, there you see the wonderful plume of dark ash material coming up between the white clouds, and you know it's coming right from the caldera there, and doing its thing. So pretty cool. Thought it was just clouds. No, that is definitely some darker material, not just clouds. So that did come up out of the caldera. Just this piece. I don't know about this one going through here. I think that is just cloud, but that other material there, definitely it's some eruption material. And it's actually, most of it is from there anyway, because it was off-gassing. If we go back about an hour, you can see that plume coming out, even though it's very, very hazy and foggy there. If we go ahead, I'm actually going to go ahead 10 seconds at a time here, and try to show that a little bit more. There were some other eruptive times in here where you could actually see that ash billowing up as well, but that one was the bigger one that we just seen just now. Let's see if we move it to about here. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to see any of the other ones in here. There were some shots where you could see it, but for the most part, yeah, there was a little bit of there coming out with the darker material for a second. And it may just be shadowing here from this right now, but that is coming from the caldera, so we know that it is continuing to do its thing. And you'll probably see our SO2 chart right off the scale for it today again. So that's kind of what we're seeing there. If we go back a little bit further in the night, we do see some of the other stuff going on, but it's hard to see anything. And really, I didn't see any glow. That was right in the morning time. Quick check on the other one. The ice cream boat just left. Darn it. And we'll have to wait for the next boat. There is no boat there right now. So we'll see what happens on the next one. I do see it is just about time for a break. And what we'll do is pop you back over to our wonderful canned lava for in the meantime here. Get that running and continue on with that. Pistol Pete, welcome. I'm glad to have you on board. I'm sorry for using this bad language, but it could... Oh, Pete, don't you dare say that in my chat. Oh, somebody go over there and wash his mouth out with soap. Pete, how dare you? That's a 4-letter word. Oh my God, the filthy language. Oh... I hope it doesn't snow. That would be horrible. Mind you, we've been very, very lucky so far that we haven't had any snow yet. But anything is possible. Anything is possible. And I know you didn't want to say it, but you had to, right? Okay, Pete. Anyway, for those good people who are here, if you haven't hit that like button yet and you're enjoying the show, by all means, give it a quick bop. Also, if you're sitting on the sidelines and you have not yet subscribed and you are enjoying that show and you feel we've earned it, by all means, give that subscribe button a quick shot as well. Turn it from red to gray. And hit that bell notification while you're there. That way you always get notified when we put something new up or when we go live with these streams. And on that friendly note, I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I'm going to take a break. And once we come back from the break, and we'll have some bacon seeds. And we can thank Piggy for those. So we'll be back. Keep smiling, play nice in the lava. And here comes some music. Thanks. And I am back. Welcome back, everyone. Billy Bob Joe, I hope you didn't sprain your tongue too terribly bad. I know that was a real tongue twister, and you probably would have got your merds wixed a little bit there doing that. And let's see. Thanks, Sue and Billy Bob Joe and Andy Morgan, and I hear you from One Fish 26, and all good. And I don't see Sharon. Oh, there she is. I was gonna say, where is it? I hear you, Dr. Fox. Thank you, Sharon, and that is awesome. Anyway, let's park our wonderful lava here for a minute or two, and we'll turn that off, get back to the other shot. Let's go have a look at the bacon seeds, though. We do want to see that. And one fish trying to be funny. For one fish, he's pretty funny. Just think if there's a school of fish, how funny that would be. Anyway. Oh, never mind. That was the last one from yesterday. So first one from today is this little guy, and standing beside Mama. So don't get mad at him. And of course he's smirking. So Mama there to protect him, and that is pretty awesome. And Mama looks pretty big in comparison to that little bacon seed. But at least he's got a nice round tummy and everything, so all awesome. Next bacon seed is this guy giving us the smile, kind of cocked head there a little bit, and looking at the camera funny, going, "What are you doing?" Yeah, I was just rooting for stuff, and that is pretty cool. And let's see, a Holstein pig. Yep, but this one I think is a Black Angus. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Black Angus piggy, and that's not bad looking. I like that. And next one, very smiley little guy. Looks like a fairly young one, and he definitely needs to eat a little bit more. But he does look smiley, and that is nice. I like that. When they have that, wonderful expression on their face, that is always nice to see. And that is pretty cute. Next one is this, and this is looking at you. This is another one of those Holstein kind, definitely, I think. And giving you that serious eye with a smirk. And eat a piggy. Okay. Anyway, that is what we're seeing there. And next one, I think we might have seen him before, scratching up against that board. Another one of those Holstein kind, and that is all cool. Wow, look, what? Yeah, looking at what you looking at. Yeah, I don't know what they're looking at. And can you show the Ukrainian one? Ukrainian one? Hey Doc, can you show the Ukrainian one? Did I have a Ukrainian one somewhere? I don't believe I did. Did you send me one, Billy Bob Joe? Because I don't recall seeing it. Email. When did you email it? Today? I'm just wondering. Hang on. Oh, is that the one on from Twitter? Let's see if we can. Okay, that's a video. Yeah, I got to be careful with that. Let me see what we can do here. Because I don't want to get in trouble for this. So I have to check first if I can actually use this footage, because it is a video, and I'm not trying to sound out of place, but it is definitely worthy of having a look at. What I can do though is I can copy the link, and we'll paste the link in the chat for now. It's just I don't want to get in trouble. So here's the link for the one on Twitter, and that is the Ukrainian ones. And it is kind of nice to see. The pigs, of course, are leading the way, and it's pretty cool. If you guys want to go have a quick look at that, or if you want to bookmark it and just right click on it and bookmark it and then watch it afterwards if you like. So that'll be all right. But I have to check into that and see if we can actually use that, Billy Bob Joe. So thanks. Yep, best idea. Don't need YouTube strike. No, I don't want any YouTube strikes. So we got to be careful with what we do. And our last bacon seed for today is, of course, a whole pile. And I don't know if I want to call these Holstein because they're awful pink and black, not white and black. But almost looks like Dalmatian pigs. So I'm not sure how many's in that pig pile. I see at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 pigs in a pile. And yep, bacon seeds. You'll have a whole bucket full of bacon seeds there if you like that. So that's our wonderful bacon seeds for today, you guys. And thank you very much, Piggy, for providing those. And that is awesome. Come on, steakish. Yeah, that is nice. Seeing them sleeping so peacefully and staying warm, that is really nice. Spotty piggies. Yep, they are. They've got lots of spots. I don't want to count them though. Anyway, we'll leave those there. And again, thanks Piggy for sending those in. And tomorrow's will be a little bit neater looking. I think they are more Halloween spirited, if you will. But we'll have a look at that tomorrow. For right now, let's go back over to Japan. The ice cream boat still did not come back in, and that is kind of where we're at with it. We see that Sakurajima is continuing to do its thing there. If we get up back to that close up, and let's put that back on live. Come on, and get ahead to live. Boy, this thing is slow. Anyway, there it is back to live. You can see, again, inside that cloud area, it's some darker material in there, so possibly a little bit more eruptive stuff with ash and stuff like that popping out of it. We'll see what happens in the future. I'm going to check on this one a little while later on. Of course, if we go to the close-up cam, we can't see a darn thing. It's just all full of cloud and fuzz and stuff. Anyway, let's pop over to our next one, and of course, that is ASO. And boy, is that really gone bad here. Again, it seems that YouTube's at it again. I set everything for the maximum rate for us to be able to see quality pictures, and then it does its thing. But anyway, ASO, not so visible. If we back up a little bit, I did see it earlier, and there was somewhere in here, there was a spot that we did see it. But I don't think I'm going to be able to find it. It was just a very brief moment in here, and we'll leave it at that. It's in the background here, somewhere in the clouds, and I'm sure it is still steaming or off-gassing a little bit. Of course, the caldera is like a bowl, so what's happening is every time it rains, it collects in that bowl. And of course the floor of the caldera is still quite hot, and that causes the water to steam off, and looks interesting, but it is at a code green, so we're not worried about it. It's not going to blow up or anything in the anywhere in the immediate future. And next one on our list is Taal, and there's Taal volcano. Not seeing a heck of a lot come out. We do see some off-gassing. This is kind of the same thing. It has a lake inside the caldera. It does look fairly small here, and just so you understand, this is about 1,000 feet above sea level right here, the top of this. So even though we are quite a distance away from it, that is 1,000 feet tall. And that gives you a better idea. And that caldera there is quite large, and it definitely is full of water. It's got a lake inside, and that continues to off-gas. And that is kind of what we're seeing at Taal right now. And moving on, let's pop over to our next one, and that is Yellowstone National Park in, where is it? It's in Wyoming, and part of Montana and Idaho as well. But that's what we're seeing there right now. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing a heck of a lot of activity. Where is it? Make it move. There we go. And I'm hoping that they'll swing it back over. I doubt it, though. I don't think they will. Okay, I'm not going to worry about it. Anyway, we have over 500 active geysers there. And if you guys want to go to this site, you can type in Yellowstone or Jellystone and bring up the link for this site, and then be able to go over there and check it out and see. They do have some interesting maps as well as this video running. This is live from there, so pretty awesome, and a bunch of information that you want to see. Very cool. So let's type in that Yellowstone. There we go. That should bring it up for you. And maybe, yep, there, Old Faithful, and the geyser, Upper Geyser Basin, as they call it. And that's what we've got there. Next one on our list is Hawaii, of course. So let's pop over to Hawaii, and we'll take a look at it. And waiting for my computer to catch up again. There we go. We are on Hawaii, and of course what we're looking at is the lava pond that is inside the caldera of Kilauea, and there it is. You can see it glowing. It's kind of a neat color, and we do see over here the what we refer to as the toe area. And we can see a little bit of a brighter area right there, probably indicating that there's some bubbles coming up, breaking up some of that thin crust that is built up on the lava. And of course, that's happening as the lava is draining out of there, so those gas bubbles are coming up. We also see some lighter spots in other places where it could possibly be draining out as well. Down on the right-hand side here, you can kind of see that this was flowing in this direction, and that is kind of where the lava tube is feeding it from. And right now, of course, when we see this, we call it like a pahoehoe lava, very thin and runny, and it does crust over fairly quickly on top. And you know, the more time you give it, the thicker the crust becomes. But just the gas bubbles bubbling up and creating some spatter will break through that material. Hey Leo, welcome. I'm glad to have you on board, and good morning to you. So that's what we're seeing there right now. Let's refresh that. That was at 1:26 a.m. Hawaii time. We're going to go to the most recent shot. There we go. And that lava level still is not up very much. It may have come up a little bit since we seen it yesterday, but not a heck of a lot. There you can see the toe area, and that looks quite empty over there. And of course, here's a little bit of a bubbling area where we may have some of that lava entering a lava tube going into that toe area. Also here you can see the lighter material where it's possibly draining out. Again, you can see that flow has changed direction a little bit, and of course once it creates too much crust, it's going to change directions again and give us different funky patterns in there, which is pretty awesome. A lot of cracking still around the lava pond here, and I still don't see, well, actually those pieces are gone. We had another piece here that was looking like it was kind of departed a little bit. It looks like it has broken off and gone into the actual lava pond, so this piece probably be next. We're going to keep an eye on that guy in the future, but you can see it's cracked right along here, and that would indicate that we're probably going to see this whole thing get a little bit bigger, if not break up over here completely, but that is kind of what we're seeing right now. Moving on to our next shot of this one, again 1:27 a.m. Hawaii time. You can see the primary vent right there, a little hornito, and then of course the lava tube was feeding it in that direction. We can't see the lava tube obviously because of it being underneath the extra lava. Anyway, you can see that primary vent, a little hornito, lava pond, and the toe area right there. A lot of smoke. Still seeing some smoke up high here on the side, and that is a little suspicious. We'll see what happens in the future with that. Also seeing some smoke up high over here now. I'm not sure if that is going to cause some issues in the future as well. And I don't know how well you can see that, but there is kind of a raised area in the middle here right now. And that is caused by the amount of lava that's coming into the caldera, and allowing it, or that raised area, to actually float on top of the magma that's, or magma or lava underneath it, right? So pretty cool, pretty awesome. Anyway, next shot is from over on this side of the caldera, looking in this direction, and we'll get over there. That is what it was looking like at 1:30 in the morning roughly. Primary vent there, little hornito or divider there, lava tube feeding it into this point here, and as you can see, that's the lava pond that's within the Kilauea's caldera. And here's the daytime version of that shot, just so you can see this is a current shot, and looking pretty cool, pretty normal, nothing out of the ordinary really. Lots of smoke still, and hopefully we'll see more of it. Popping over to the thermal image, this one was from 1:14 a.m. Again, a lava pond, hornito where the tube is, and then of course you can see the toe area over there. Primary vent would be right about here. Not seeing too much. All this area seems to have cooled off quite a bit all the way around, and not really sure just what's going to happen in the future. And I'm assuming this thing is going to fill back up and do its thing. And if that happens, we'll see some more outpouring and lighter areas around the edges once we get that extra magma in there, or lava. And let's refresh that one to a current image. And this is the current one, really not looking any different than the other one. And this is from 14:14, and that is what we see Hawaii time. So pretty cool, pretty awesome, and that's good for now. And let's see, let's pop over and have a look at our earthquake map. We'll do a quick a run through of quakes in Hawaii. I gotta find my map. There we are. Zoom out there, zoom in over here, and there is our Hawaiian Islands. And of course we are on the big island of Hawaii. So a quick look first here in the Pahala area. Most of the quakes here are between about 26 and 36 kilometers down, give or take a little bit, but let's have a quick peek here. 2.0 from today at 12:09. Then we have 2.3 from 7:05 a.m. We have another 2.0 over here yesterday from 21:20. And then also 2.1 from 17:12. And that was today's, yep. And then 1.8 from today at 11:32. And going up, I'm grabbing this other one here, 2.3. And that is from yesterday at 20:26. So I'm not seeing any other ones right imminently in that area. Let's go up on top of Mauna Loa. And Mauna Loa continues to have little quakes all over the place. So we'll grab these extra ones on the secondary swarm here, if you want to call it that. 2:24 a.m. for that 2.0. Then we had another 2.0 at yesterday's 22:47. And that one is 900 meters above sea level. This one is 100 meters below sea level. And then we'll see what these other ones are. 1.3, 100 meters above sea level from 1916 yesterday. Then we have this one from today, 1.1 kilometers above sea level, and that is 16:48 is the time that came in. This next guy here is 1.9 from yesterday at 21:59, 400 meters above sea level. Then we have a 1.1, and it is showing at 18:47 yesterday, and that is 1.2 kilometers above sea level. Another 1.9 from today, 9:39 a.m., and 1.8 kilometers above sea level. And one more here, another 1.9. That's actually from yesterday, from 23:23, 900 meters above sea level, so well into the mountain. And then we go over here, we see this extra one, 1.1. Yesterday's at 18:31, 4.7 kilometers below sea level. And sliding over towards Kilauea itself, and we see there Kilauea really didn't have anything right in it, but we do have 3 on the outskirts, and that was from yesterday at 2010, 1.4 kilometers down, and that is a 1.7 in magnitude. We have a 2.7 in magnitude from 22:42, 1.4 kilometers down, and 2.8, a little bit bigger, also yesterday's 22:48, and same depth, 1.4 kilometers. And hopefully that is something that is going to shake loose the flow of lava for that area, and make us all happy as we see more stuff flowing through there. And that would be pretty interesting and pretty awesome to see what it's doing. Anyway, it does look like it is break time, you guys, and I am going to go take a break. Hey, Leo, renewed his membership 9 months. Wow, thank you very kindly, Leo, appreciate that. And it's good to be a lavalier, and that is awesome. Okay, I'm your host, DrFox2000, going to take a break, and we need to let the throat rest. And then after the break, of course, we will continue on with the earthquakes, and then we will take a look at volcano activities and on the volcano map, as well as take a look at the weather. So don't go away, lots more to come. Keep smiling, everyone, and play nice in the lava. I'll throw some music back on here, and we'll be good to go. So hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Also, if you're new and you like what you're seeing, by all means hit that subscribe button on the outside, and that way you can come in and chat with all these good people. And don't worry about Billy Bob Joe, he doesn't bite, and Leo makes an awesome barbecue. All right, I'll be back. Don't go away. Thanks. we go. Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and you're watching VolcanoX, a live stream. And thanks for the welcome backs from Sue and Leo and Kevin. And I'm sure there's more, which is all right. Anyway, we're going to put the brakes on our wonderful lava here. There we go. And stop that real quick. Thanks, Sasha and Kevin as well. Awesome. And let's get back over to our earthquakes, because that's what we're going to continue to have a quick look at. And of course, the volcano on the screen there, that was our Siggy Fisher in the northwestern corner of Meridalier Valley and on the Reykjanes Peninsula in Iceland. So anyway, we're going to move back to the other map here and take a look. And of course, we already talked about the stuff that continues to happen here in between, well, right on the mid-Atlantic ridge, but kind of in between Ireland and it would be neat if we had another island pop up there. Really would be. That would be kind of interesting. And this map, of course, is the USGS map, but you can also take a look at that one that Leo just brought up the shortcut for, and that is the EMSC earthquake map. And it shows a lot of the other ones that this map doesn't show, including some of the other ones that have happened in this area here. And kind of interesting, as well as the ones that happen in Canada that are not being depicted on here from in the Northwest Territories, and here in Alberta, 2.9 this morning that we had. Anyway, quick peek here. We do see these. Whoop, I want to kind of get a size. They were both 4.5s. This one from 8:58 a.m. Icelandic time today, and then 5:01 a.m. Icelandic time. So there, it continues there. And if we do have an uplift of some sort or something, that would be pretty interesting. Cool. I would buy some more new acreage. Well, hang on, Daryl. That might be a few dollars more because you know, depending on what we're doing. If it's a European charge, we may have to charge a little extra there for that one. Anyway, so looking down here, we see this one, 4.9. 9:39 a.m., 10 kilometers down, just off the coast of Morocco. And I find this a little bit weird because they're saying this one is Morocco, and then we get out here, they're saying this one is from Spain. And it looks closer to Morocco than it does to Spain as far as I'm concerned, but 4.2 there as well from 9:37 a.m. So we have the two in that same spot, or pretty close to it. Anyway, let's go around this way. Like I said, we're not seeing the ones here in Alberta. I'm not going to worry about that. We do have one here in Idaho, 3.1 at Stanley, Idaho. They get a lot of quakes there, and that was from 1759, brand new, and I just figured I'd pass that one along. Going down the coast of South America here, we see a 4.5 in Peru from yesterday at 2050, 46 kilometers down. I think we reported that one. Another one, 4.9 here, 7:08 a.m., 123.4 kilometers down for that 4.9 in Chile. And then we have one in Costa Rica. That might have been yesterday's. No, that's today's as well. We do see the other ones from yesterday there, but 4.6, 10:30 a.m., 196 kilometers down for that guy. And then we have a 4.8, and that one's also in Argentina, 162.8 kilometers down from 9:51 a.m. Sliding over a little bit more and taking a look at New Zealand. We don't see anything shaking in New Zealand according to this map. Also, Kermadec Ridge looks fairly quiet, not till we get over to Fiji, 4.2, and 2:37 a.m., 577 kilometers down. There we have this one, 4.4, 2:30 in the morning, 103.7 kilometers down for that Santa Cruz Island one. Pretty interesting. And then we have this guy, 5.1, Indonesia, 40 kilometers down for that guy from 1611 their time. And 4.7, and that is also in Indonesia from yesterday. 22:52 was the time on it. And we see the rest is fairly quiet according to this map. We do have this one here, Marshall Islands, 4.6, 8:02 a.m. Today for them, 10 kilometers down. We also see this guy, and that is 4.4, 12:06, and that would have just been after lunch. 171.5 kilometers down. Looking up at the rest of Japan, we don't see anything. Kamchatka Peninsula, pretty quiet. We see a little one here, 3.0, and it's really not showing that much. It's in on the Aleutian Islands anyway, and Adak, Alaska is what it's close to, but I don't think it's that close. It's 146 kilometers away from it. That's a flight, good flight away. And moving to the other side here, we see in China, 4.6, 6:44 a.m. For that one, 10 kilometers down. And then let's see where this guy is. Iran, 5.7. Yeah, I would Iran too if I had a 5.7 right underneath me. We see that right there. And not so good. And last but not least, we'll take a look at this little guy, 3.1, northern area of Italy. Not that big and not that unusual. So that is kind of what we see on our earthquake map today. I do want to pop over to the other map, the EQ as we call it. Dr. Fox, due to the daylight savings time here, I miss out on the last hour of the stream. I have to go to work now, bye all, and oink oink. Okay, no worries, Leo, you take care, and we understand, and it's all good. So stay safe, have a great day at work, and don't work too hard. Anyway, I wanted to show these ones here. Northwest Territories 3.0 happened at 9:26 a.m. Our time, of course, and that is what we've seen up there. And this one here, Alberta, Canada, and yeah, 2.9, and that is pretty much just west of Whitecourt. So about 250 kilometers away from here. I didn't feel a darn thing, and that was at 7:06 this morning. And yes, I was out of bed having my coffee, but I didn't feel anything. We also have a 3.7 over here in the Queen Charlotte Islands that didn't get shown up on the charts, and that is 21 kilometers down, happened at 4:57 a.m. And that is kind of what we're seeing there on that one. So yeah, and looking at some of these, we see a bunch more here, and you know, the other map did not show any of these. This from yesterday, 3.6 in New Zealand. Then we have this guy here, 4.4 from yesterday as well. And I'm really kind of baffled. These are sizable quakes, and they are not listed on the USGS one. Another one, 3.1 from yesterday as well, 87 kilometers down. We have 3.3, 90 kilometers down from today at 21:08, and kind of makes the guy wonder. And there's some more activity, and this guy here would be just about in Taupo, sorry, and 74 kilometers down for that 3.4. and that is kind of interesting. Pardon me. Yeah, 5.4 in northern Iran. Yep, we seen that, and that was interesting to have that guy on there. Anyway, some other smaller quakes there as well, 3.4 and a 3.3, and then a little bit off the coast, 3.2 from today at 12:20, another 3.7 yesterday's. And then we also have this one here, yesterday's as well, at 3.0. So that is on this map. And we could possibly go through all of these and try to compare the maps, but going a little bit too far with some of them makes it difficult to continue on because there are a lot of quakes around the world. This one from Easter Island yesterday, from 9:55 a.m. their time, 4.9, and let's see, this one down here, 5.5, South Sandwich Islands yesterday as well. Makes you wonder why the USGS is not reporting half of those quakes. And this is that swarm. This is where the new land is going to be, and they do show these ones here. So 5.2 from yesterday. 4.5, that's today's. There's another 4.8 from yesterday, 4.4 from today, and 4.6 also from today. And again, these are not showing up on the USGS maps. So kind of makes you wonder what is going on with the reporting. And you know, USGS doesn't always get it right, and that's where we're going to leave it. Anyway, they did have some bigger ones showing here as well, 5.0 in the Philippines. I think we did see that, and there's a whole bunch down here in Indonesia that we did not see on the other map. But we'll leave that be. You guys are more than welcome to bring that up. And David says another launch tomorrow. Okay, no problem, David, at 12 noon Eastern Daylight Time. Cool. Moving on to our Canary Islands real quick. We already did the Azores, so I'm going to refresh this. We'll see what we've got. And come on, refresh. There we go. And of course we see that flashing right there on Tenerife, and that is from their new time, 12 minutes after midnight their time, technically in the future. And does it say how deep? It doesn't. It's a surface quake. It doesn't have a depth. Anyway, let's zoom into La Palma and see what we've got there, and going through some of these. Interesting places. We'll start at the top here. Actually, where's our start line? 4th. We only have 2 from the 4th, so one up on the that ridge, and yeah, you know, I tried to find out what that whole area is actually called, and lo and behold, to my surprise, that whole ridge is called Cumbre Vieja. Putting that apart, the other volcanoes that happened on the Cumbre Vieja are actually different names, and the recent eruption we had, they named it the same as what the original one was. So I'm going to draw on the screen here, if I can get my whiteboard to work, and we will kind of try to give you an idea of the box that is really a Cumbre Vieja when, let's see if that'll work, and there. That's almost the correct size, maybe a little bit smaller, guys, but that is Cumbre Vieja, the whole system, okay? And of course, that's the difference. I think I made that a little bit big. Let's try that again. I'm going to clear that and redo it once more here, and see if I can get that done. And let's try that. Make a square. There we go. That basically is about the size of it, and they call that Cumbre Vieja. And of course, we know our actual Cumbre Vieja volcano that we just witnessed is basically right around there. So gives you a pretty good idea of what we're looking at. And it's interesting to see. But they do have the other volcanoes that are listed in here. And of course, they've got a bunch of the older ones, that kind of thing, that were there from past. I see an alien in the box. An alien? Uh-oh. Dave? Never mind. Enjoy your alien. Okay, and that's all good. So really nothing major happening there. We've got the two quakes. This 0.9 from 9 minutes after midnight, 11 kilometers down, and then the other one that is on the ridge there, 1.1, and that was from 5:06 a.m. and that was only 3 kilometers down. So that's all we've got. I see a man with a beard. Oh boy. Oh boy. There are many things. Yep. Actually, that could be, Sasha, that could be what we've got going on there, UFOs. Anyway, that is pretty much it there. Quick over to the volcano map. I'm going to refresh that so we have the latest as well on that one. And then we'll be looking for a quick break here, and then we'll come back and do the weather after that. They do show the other ones here, 4.4, and 1 hour ago 4.9, so there was a bigger one there yet. Wasn't showing up on the other ones. Anyway, Astja, and then of course our Azores right there, Michael Volcano, South Sandwich Island still intact, and looking at everything else. Most everything is still the same. We don't see any major changes here. We still see Taupo showing up here in New Zealand, same as White Isle Volcano. And Home Reef Volcano still considered active, but I have again tried finding more information. Don't see anything new coming from it. Tofua is still there. Yasur is still erupting, and that is the one of the world's, well, I think it is the world's longest erupting volcano that we know of, according to what they've got in their list there. Anyway, Luolatok, Raum, and Semeru, Marapi, and Krakatau, and we did see this 4.6 15 minutes ago, roughly, and that is just beside it. On the next island over, we'll see what happens in the future. Ibu and Dakono still doing their thing, and we go up. Mayon still off-gassing. Taal is there, and Suwanoshi-jima, and of course Sakura-jima, the two red ones right there. And of course this one here has been in the news, so Nishino-shima, and that is part of the Japanese area there. And of course Ibiko, Alade, and there you've got Karimsky, Bezimiani, and Shivalish on the Kamchatka Peninsula area, and that is kind of all we're seeing there. Not seeing anything else. Pitan still considered active, and we'll see what that does in the future. And then Old Doño still there. Our two that are in Nicaragua, or sorry, DR Congo, I mean, are still there. Urta Ale, and of course going into Sicily, Etna, Volcano, and Stromboli, and Campi still showing there. And that is about it for our volcanoes around the world. And Yeah, here they're showing those two, 4.2 3 hours ago. The other one, just about 2 hours ago now, 4.9. So that's pretty shaky for those guys. And on that note, we'll zoom that back out, and I'll leave that there. And when we come back, we will do some weather stuff. So SO2 maps and then the weather, and we'll go from that point. And let me get this lava moving again. And for those who are here, if you have not yet hit that like button, by all means, give it a quick shot. And also for those good people who haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button if you want to get in and chat with everyone else. I see we really don't have that many people here right now, so it's one of those days, I guess, a busy Monday for many of you. So it is Monday, isn't it? Or Tuesday? Hang on, it's Tuesday. I don't know. What is it today? I need to turn the light on. It's Tuesday. Yeah, I was saying Monday. Ugh. Anyway, I'm going to go take a break. I will be back in about 5 or so minutes. Keep smiling and be good. Yep, it is Tuesday all day. A small but mighty crowd. Yes, they are. And we like it. Okay, don't go away. What? You need a green screen? The weather report. Dave, no. Yeah. As soon as you get one on your streams, and then we'll be happy to do that. Oh, I'm not a weather person. I hate it all equally. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, be good. I'm going to throw some music back on, and I'll be back in a few minutes. Thanks. All right, microphone is back on. Welcome back, everyone. I'm glad to have you all on board still. And we are going to get into our wonderful weather right away. And let's see if we can get that up on the screen. And thank you for the I Hear You from Sharon Stewart. And thanks, Sasha, for the welcome back, as well as Andy. And nice to have you guys there doing your thing. Okay, having a quick look, and I was just looking at this, trying to figure out where that came from, but we know it's from China. And thanks, Sue. Anyway, looking at North America, really nothing really scary or outrageous. We do see some SO2 up in the northern portions here in the Yukon, as well as Northwest Territories, and that is from all this different weather currents up at the top here. So no worries there, and that is kind of what we're seeing right now. And then we see most of the U.S. is pretty good, except for once we get down here into Mexico and Central America. While Mexico, it is dumping all that stuff out into the Gulf, and that is going right to David's house over here. And unfortunately, David, if you see the sky getting a little bit thick and fuzzy, that is compliments of Mexico, and that is imported directly from Mexico City, and Popocatépetl. So that's what you've got coming your way there with the SO2. I think some of that is from Texas too, but that is just people pollution for the most part. Anyway, going down the Central American side, we do see it's pluming back into the Pacific again, which is kind of where it should be if we got the wind currents going the right way. And no worries, Sue, we're all good. Looking at what we've got there in Colombia and Ecuador, still blowing out into the Pacific again, pretty normal. And then once we get further down, of course, we see right around, what the heck is this volcano? Sabancaya, I think, but that's a different one. Ubinas volcano. You can't see it, darn it. But that's where it is. If we zoom in, we'll see the other one, I'm sure. But Sabancaya should be in here somewhere. That should be this guy, maybe. Yeah, Sabancaya. And again, we don't see anything happening there right now. Oh, look at that nice plume. And yeah, that's actually giving off a little bit of that gas material, and it gives you a pretty good idea of what is going on there. And I'll leave that one be. Actually, let's go to the other camera. I want to see if we can do the same thing with that one. Go back. Ooh, that's pretty. That's a pretty volcano, but doesn't look like it's doing anything though at that point. And we really haven't looked at this Ubinas. Haven't done any reporting on that one. Anyway, zooming back out, we see most of that is heading over Argentina and then back out into the Pacific, or sorry, the Atlantic. We do see population hotspots all over the place, and I'll leave those be. Sliding in over here, White Isle volcano, definitely off-gassing, throwing some of that out into the Pacific as well. Well, it only has one place to go here. It's not going to go into the Atlantic from here unless it really blows up big time. And over here, Tofua and Tonga continuing to do its thing. We see some of that stuff from the sewer coming down into that direction as well. And Leo did turn off his barbecue, but there is still some SO2 there in Melbourne, likely from the oil refineries. And of course, the stuff we're seeing north of Sydney here is from the coking plants that they're producing some coking coal for steel manufacturing. and Yasur and his buddies are still doing their thing, pretty normal in Papua New Guinea, and then sliding over Luolatok, still continuing. Semaru, a little bit more active than it normally is, and showing us a little bit more of that wonderful red. And then, of course, you'll have Merapi sitting here in the clouds, of course, but we also see some lingering stuff from possibly people pollution as well, same as Jakarta. And we know we have seen quite a bit of a plume coming out of our Krakatau, but I don't know how much SO2 was in there. Ibu and Dakono still working away there, and we'll have a Mayon there, and it looks like it's fairly busy and sliding up a little bit more. Impossible to tell if we do actually have something coming from Taal other than just steam. So that is pretty interesting. Now, I kind of read an article earlier here online about this area, and apparently this is an old volcano as well. So I'm going to have to find out more about this, but that is pretty awesome. And, pardon me, we see this whole plume out here, and this is from China. And that is where that is kind of accumulated out there and just sitting there. And well, I shouldn't just blame China. That is also from Sakurajima, and so China and Sakurajima are responsible for that, and that is what we see right there. And it is pretty nasty, and hope we get some rain or something to clean that up. And he is back. Oh, I'm back. It's nice here today, Doc. Oh, excellent. Oz, I still didn't get that email. I'm hoping that you got the email address correct. And remember, it's DrFox at and then SHAW.ca. But if I don't get an email from you, what I'll do is I'll send you one back just to see if that works for you. Hopefully it will. But I didn't see anything from you there. Okay, going back in here, we do see Suwanoshijima has got a little bit of a plume there, and not too much now from Sakurajima, but we did do that. And sliding up here, Kamchatka Peninsula, you see most of that is blowing up from the bottom, from the south, I guess. Wow, we'll go, it's going northeast, okay? And that is from all our wonderful volcanoes there. So I sent it as a reply. Wow, that should have worked. Doesn't make much sense, does it? And I just got an email. Whose is that from? No, that is from Diane Craig. What? And okay, Diane, if you're listening, I will work on that. And wow, Grandma B, thank you very much for that wonderful $3 super chat. Grandma B, there we go. And awesome, thank you very kindly for your wonderful support, Grandma B. Okay, anyway, looking out here in what we're seeing right there, and some of that is blown up, and it was taken up from our stuff here in South Africa. But there is also some off-gassing going on from Reunion Island, even though when we're looking at this, it actually looks like it is the other island, but it's Reunion Island that has Piton on it. and that did create a portion of this. And I don't know if there's another volcano going there or something, or if we have something else going on. But a lot of that, from what I seen, was from South Africa, and it got pushed up here. You can kind of see the way like it was actually pushed out and then it was curled up. So that's kind of what we're seeing there, and hopefully that'll dissipate if they get a good rain shower and stuff. That'll wash that back into the ocean and get it out of the air. And looking at what we've got here, DR Congo still doing its thing. Hard to see where RTVE actually is. It would be right around here. It probably is off-gassing a little bit, but the amount of pollution coming from Saudi Arabia and those areas, we're not seeing a heck of a lot happening there. And the quiet Mount Etna is still off-gassing fairly heavily right there as well. So that's what we're seeing. And of course, Volcano and Stromboli will definitely be in there. And of course, when you bring that picture up, I don't know if that's our current one. Yeah, it looks like they had some stuff happening at Stromboli earlier today, and I don't know about right now. They're showing that, but of course we can't show that typically with our other stuff. So being on windy.com, they better not throw any kind of thing at us here. Anyway, let's leave that alone. I don't want another strike from them. Anyway, pretty much normal in Europe, nothing really scary. Let's get over to the other weather map. I did refresh that earlier, and this is pretty much up to date. So seeing some very, very cold temperatures in Greenland, minus 32 degrees Celsius. Brr. And yeah, northern portions of Canada starting to cool off, Alaska as well. And when we take a look, you can see the northern portions of our province are starting to get cold. That goes all the way across the prairies into northern Ontario as well. And then Quebec, the northern area is also cold. Still seeing a little bit of warmth there, showing about 14, 15 degrees in Edmonton. And yep, now I got it, Oz. Okay, yep, I will definitely work on that for you. Once I finish with the stream, I'll shoot that off and make sure that you get it. Okay, Oz, I got it. So that one did work. Anyway, British Columbia and Alberta and Saskatchewan are showing some not bad temperatures, and that should be all right. Once we get down into Ontario here, they're fairly cold in the bottom end, and about 12 in Toronto, that kind of thing. Montreal, 9 degrees, and Quebec, 9, 10 degrees as well. Getting out onto Nova Scotia, we're seeing variable stuff. Pardon me. Sue just brought up the temperature there for Cole Harbour, about 10 degrees Celsius. That's what it shows on the map here. And the other end of the island, northern end, a little bit cooler. Same thing with Newfoundland. And once you get up in Newfoundland, Labrador, up on the top here, we see some drastic changes. The further up you go, the colder it gets. So we'll leave that be. And looking at what we've got, western portions of the United States, still looking pretty nice in Washington and Oregon and Idaho, not bad for the most part. And going into California, we're seeing very nice temperatures there, and not bad. Even Nevada is not bad. Looking at what we see in Death Valley, probably about, well, we see 39 there. I don't know if that's exactly what it is, but somewhere thereabouts, and we see different ones. So Mexicali coming in at about 35 C, so that is kind of awesome, and very hot down there still, and boy, that bot's taken a long time. 36 degrees in Death Valley according to that. Thanks, Sue, and appreciate it. And then, of course, we see here in the bottom end of Arizona, it's quite warm, 31 showing here in Phoenix. But the weather map is not always right, and we'll take a look and see what we've got there. Flagstaff coming in at only about 14 degrees, according to that. Yeah, 32 for those. That's pretty close to what the map is, 31 right now. But big change, when you take a look at some of the other cooler temperatures out there. One area is 31, 32 degrees. The other is 16, 17 degrees. Gets a little bit of cold, 12 degrees. Mind you, Flagstaff, I believe, is at a little bit higher elevation too. So that may have a big difference playing in there as well. Looking at Nevada, we see, no, not Nevada, New Mexico, my bad. Some areas are quite cold. Still a pleasant day in all of Texas. That's some nice temperatures there. Oklahoma as well, not bad. And going up here a little bit, not bad as well. Going up to about, well, it's going all the way into Minnesota, but as soon as you get around the Great Lakes, starts to cool off. There's your cooling area, and the bottom states looking pretty good, and not bad, but a little cooler out in the eastern side of the country. Even Florida is not that warm today. Down on the bottom end, 24, 25, but you get up in the areas here, Jacksonville, 17 degrees Celsius. That's getting a little bit cool, and about 16 right there. I don't know, Tallahassee showing 20, and then we slide up and take a look at places like where Grandma B is there, 13 degrees Celsius. Charlotte, North Carolina, coming in at about 15, 16. Definitely a little on the cool side. We do see that low here, and that might be responsible for pulling down some of that cold air from up north, and that's what we're seeing there. So New York coming in 12 degrees, Philadelphia 10, definitely cooled off. Boston 13, and that kind of thing. It is delightfully cool here. I'm loving it. Okay, Grandma B, and that is awesome. Even Cancun, Mexico, only coming in about 26 today, but sliding down into South America. Some cooler spots there as well. Higher elevations, definitely a lot colder, and the Amazon is not bad at all for the most part. Looks like top end of Paraguay here, 26, 27 degrees. Then top end of Argentina also showing some very nice temperatures. But as soon as you get down here and out towards the coast, this high and this low are still here, and they're working on mixing some of that air up, and places like Uruguay are anywhere from about 11 to 14 degrees Celsius. Buenos Aires coming in at 14, and we still see that very cold area there with another high sitting there. So that's probably why it's cold. Sao Paulo and about 15, 16 degrees. Rio de Janeiro, too cold for bikinis, at 18 degrees Celsius. And the whole South Island of New Zealand getting bombarded with this really cold air from this high, circulating that back upward, and some places -3, -4. That's not good. And looking at most of it is pretty chilly for what I see. And Northern Ireland a little bit warmer, but still not that great for the most part. 16 up on the peninsula, but I see it go all the way down to about 11 in some spots. Then the high elevations, of course, you can expect it to be cooler. Looking at Tasmania, this other high sitting there, well, that is the high that's causing the problem. Tasmania, though, still mostly right around the 10, 11, 12 mark. Not too bad. And of course, Leo wasn't here to check Melbourne, but Melbourne 13, 14 degrees Celsius. We see Sydney going at about 15, 16. And Adelaide a little bit warmer, showing about 18, 17, 18 there. And home of the Oz is 21 degrees, according to this, 21, 22 possibly, so not bad. New Zealand snow, okay, Andy, that on the South Island they're getting snow. I wouldn't doubt it. Perth coming in at about 15, 16 there, and we are seeing the heat starting to rebuild in the northern latitudes of New Zealand, or sorry, Australia, not New Zealand. New Zealand's the little one. Anyway, there we go. Looking at our Indonesian, Malaysian, and Philippine areas, we do see some of those other good things there as well. Looking a little cooler in Bangkok right now, about 25 degrees or so, and possibly getting rain there again. And looking at Manila coming at 30 degrees. Yeah, Bangkok. Okay, thanks, Sue. Just gonna see 28. Well, it says 25, 26 on the map here, so 28 sounds more reasonable for them, and 89% relative humidity. That's pretty good, I guess, for them. Normal day. And we are sliding up a little bit, looking at the rest of it. Looks very cold here in the Yellow Sea, and possibly, yeah, mid-teens and low teens here in South Korea and North Korea. I'm not sure. Very cold temperatures for the most part. Japan, though, not bad temperatures for this time of year. They do look like they're getting colder up in the northern portions, and down to single digits there on the northern islands. And of course, Kamchatka Peninsula, we're seeing variable temperatures down to the freezing mark in the higher elevations, but still a little bit here, 10, 12 degrees, not bad. That low, though, is going to turn around and bring more cold air down from the Siberian area over here. And we'll leave that be. It's too cold. I don't want to look at it. And looking at what we've got here in India, pretty normal. Sri Lanka, 26, 27, depending on where you are. South Africa, Madagascar, half of it is cold. The other half is pretty normal. And then down on the bottom end, South Africa, quite cool yet in comparison to the rest of Africa. And I see that that is the only cold area down there other than the higher elevations. And as we go up a little bit, we see our Saudi Arabia and UAE having a cool day, and that is our cool night for the most part. And then I did check earlier, I was seeing some 40-degree temperatures again in this area earlier during their daytime. And that wasn't too bad. Same thing with Iraq and Iran. They did have some good daytime heat, And looking at the Sahara Desert, it too was sitting at about 40, 42, 43 degrees in this area. But since it's nighttime, makes a big difference and cools off a lot quicker. Let's take a look at what we see here in costs. I'm not sure if that is right. Let me just check. Whoop, WAN, and we'll see what it looks like for Piggy. It shows about 21, 22 degrees here, and I'm not sure if that's correct either. We'll take a look and see, and there it goes, 20 degrees Celsius. So that's what we've got. And looking at Sicily, Italy, pretty normal there, cooling off a little bit more all the way through. Still holding some heat up. Milano up here, not bad at 17. It could be a lot colder there because they're close to the Alps. Looking at Spain, relatively warm. The new Monkland here, still Sardinia, is still showing some not bad temperatures. These are all nighttime temperatures, also nothing too cold there. France, not too bad for the most part, but they are in the low teens or just slightly around that 10, 11 degree mark. And again, we're seeing the bottom end of Germany is colder than the northern portions. Berlin coming in at 10, Hamburg 12, 13. But when we get down here, Stuttgart 9, Munich 5, 6. And also kind of a little bit odd. Luxembourg coming in at 9, 10 degrees. And then we're seeing, I'm supposed to use beer. It is Belgium. Yeah, okay, there we got it. I have to think about these things when you run out real quick. Mathematics is uncanny and integral to our society. Mathematics, holy macaroni. Leo Vanowski. Mathematics is pretty good for some people. Anyway, looking at what we see here in Denmark, about 14 degrees, which is actually very nice for them, considering some of the lower areas are a lot cooler, so pretty cool, or warm. Anyway, Oslo coming in at about 13. We see the rest of Norway and Sweden and Finland pretty chilly, so I'm not going to worry about that, but coming in about 10, 11 degrees here in Stockholm, Sweden. Riga 9 degrees, go over to St. Petersburg 7, Moscow 7, so that's what we've got there. And the hot spot to be in would be in England and Wales. They are at 15, 16, 17 degrees depending on where you are, and that is pretty nice for them this time of year. And of course here in Monkland, Irish monk is basking in the warm tropical temperatures of about 13 or 14 degrees. Once we get up into the northern areas here in Scotland, though, a little bit on the colder side, back into the high single digits. Taking a look at Iceland, this low was not being a friend, and they are getting a lot cooler. Reykjanes Peninsula coming in at 4, 5, 6 degrees. Let's take a look at the Reykjavik, and that is about 5 degrees Celsius right now. So according to this map anyway, that's kind of what we're seeing there in our weather map. Let's take a look at the precipitation really quickly, and we don't want to spend too much time on it. We see a system here just below Alaska and churning off the coast, giving some rain to British Columbia. It looks dry in most of the areas here in Alberta and Saskatchewan, with the exception of this stuff up here in Manitoba, getting some snow. And I'm hoping that is going to go this way, not this way, okay? We do see northern Ontario's got some rain. Southern Ontario pretty good there for now. A little bit of rain in Quebec. Not seeing any rain out here in New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, PEI area, or Newfoundland. Nothing until you get up into the northern portions of Quebec, and of course our Baffin Island, and the Davis Strait here has that low sitting right there, and snow in Baffin Bay. So that's what we're seeing there. Zooming into the U.S. real quick, we do see some storms here in Arizona and New Mexico, and going up into Colorado, and a little bit more coming up and through, and going into South Dakota as well. So that is going to move through there. Not too much in Texas at all, a little bit out in the western end, and that looks pretty good. And looking here, looking clear for the most part, down in Florida and Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina. It's not till you get up into Virginia that you start seeing, and New York, where you're really seeing that storm system sitting there churning away, and from Boston all the way down, I guess, for the most part, I guess right down to Virginia Beach, they're all getting it, and it's almost all the way in to Pittsburgh. So that's kind of what they've got there. Looking at, of course, Mexico. Oh, pain is the new storm, and that is what we've got out there. That's going to be a real pain. Get it? A real pain? Anyway, flooding in NWS. Oh, okay. Queensland. All right. Hopefully they're not getting too flooded out. And looking at Central America, we see that they've got more storms there. Still raining in the Congo. No, not the Congo. The Amazon. How about that? That works better for Brazil and Colombia, and of course Venezuela, and those areas. So there we go. Still seeing this thing, this low here, this just, I don't know if this ever gonna go away. Anyway, we see more bands coming right across from this. These two need to leave, really, and this high needs to move out there and keep everybody happy. Looking at, yeah, there's that snow, and we see it now. Definitely snow on the South Island, and lots of it from the looks of it. So hopefully everybody is got their snow shovels ready, and they're okay with that. Looking at what we see in Australia, and I can see where you're saying about the floods. Definitely makes a big difference when you see that. Mind you, this is, this is Australia. They get their rain during a certain season, and it just pours there, and it happens so quickly all at once, rather than being spread out throughout the year. It seems to happen within a month, and it all gets dumped for the entire year in that one time period. Looking out in the west here, though, Perth is getting it again as well. So that's what we've got there. And of course our Papua New Guinea area, more storms, and all the way through our Indonesian area, pretty nasty. We need the rain, Doc. Well, I would bet, definitely. I know it's dry, Oz. I definitely know it's dry. And this is the band. This is the area where most of the agriculture takes place. So if that doesn't get rain, that's going to be a problem for a lot of people, right? And we understand that. Anyway, looking here, pretty normal, seeing all these different storms going through. Nothing unusual really when you're looking at that. And now we're seeing what's happening here in Japan, this shear front that we've got in here all the way through. Coming across the Sea of Japan, getting into Japan, and they've got rain in many, many places. Hopefully they'll be okay. Same thing goes for South Korea, North Korea, getting some of that. And there's the Kamchatka Peninsula. It's getting nailed with lots of rain. And up a little higher and north here, yeah, a lot of flaking going on. Looking at India, pretty normal. Another storm out in the Indian Ocean, sliding over a little bit more. Looking at Madagascar, not too much rain heading their way right now, which is okay, but we do need some rain there to clean up that air. And looking here at the central area of Africa, of course, the Congo and other places, some rain showers there as normal. And looking here, trying to zoom in a little bit and see if Piggy is going to get any rain. And I don't know, Piggy, if you're listening, I don't see anything on the forefront. We see all this stuff up in the north here. I don't think that's going to make it south for you yet. Hopefully we'll get some showers in there, and of course that is for the island of Kos, where it hasn't rained since March. And well, it rained once, but it was very little for them there. Looking at the other portions of Greece, they did have a little bit more rain. And of course we know that Sicily was getting some rain as well. We don't see anything else in Italy going all the way up to the Alps. Monkland, or New Monkland, of course, that is Sardinia. They've got a little bit of rain there as well. Looking at Spain, I'm not seeing anything. Spain, Portugal, pretty dry. A little bit down here on the bottom end of our wonderful France. No rain in Germany right now. And our good friend Anna Wallner did report that it was sunny there today, and she really enjoyed that, since it's been raining for the last 4 or 5 days. Sunny but cool. And of course the very warm weather that the good people are enjoying in England and Ireland is accompanied by a lot of wetness. So we see that, especially up here in Scotland. It's really getting nailed, and that's what we're seeing there. Denmark, with their nice temperatures, also getting rained on. And then we see that shear front coming out of Norway here all the way around, and they are getting a lot of rain in that area as well. At least it's rain right now, not snow. And then we look at Iceland. And yes, indeed, Iceland, 2/3 snow. 'Tis the season, you guys. That's what happens. And of course, down here on the Reykjanes Peninsula, we see that as well. And on Reykjavik, going to get a little bit, and possibly, well, the airport might not be raining right now, but we know, well, even Grindavik would be out of the rain. Ragnar would be just about in the rain. We'll see what happens. And that is it for the major portions of our weather. Going back to temperature, going to go down to the bottom end of the map and hunt for that very, very cold spot that we always look for here. And so far I haven't seen anything really cold. And we'll see if we can find something that is in the minus 70 degree range. And I'm not seeing anything really cold in the minus 70s anyway. And wow, that's actually a pretty interesting. Warmed up down there. I see minus 63. There's got to be colder than that. Minus 65. Minus 66. Right in here somewhere. Yeah. Wow. Just off of a quick shot. So minus 66 is what I'm seeing there. I'm just going to check here for a second. There's got to be some colder places. Minus 62, 61, no. And 63. No, looks like minus 66 is the coldest temperature that I could find really quickly. And minus 62, minus 64 there. So, yep, I think I'm going to have to stick with minus 66. Sue found minus 68, and that is awesome, Sue. And I'm not sure where you found that, but that is pretty good. So you win by 2 degrees lower than me, and that is okay. And again, that is a temperature that we're not sure if we can actually find that. That would be a very, very cold regardless. I don't think you'll notice the difference between minus 66 and minus 68 or something like that. So we'll leave it at that. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's our show for today. And thank you very much for everyone being here. I really do appreciate it. And we did only have the one super chat today from Grandma B for $3. Thank you. And we do have our wonderful members in here. Thank you to each and every one of you. Also, a big thanks to the entire Lava family, of course. And really, I do appreciate all of you. And on those friendly notes, I also want to say thanks to our moderators. And that is wonderful. And I appreciate you guys being in and doing your thing. So good to have you on board. And on that friendly note, it is a time for me to say good night to everyone. So again, thank you, moderators. Thank you, Lava family. And I really appreciate all of you. And that is basically it for today. And thanks, Sue. And we will see everyone tomorrow, hopefully. Keeping fingers crossed that we get another volcanic eruption somewhere that we can see. Would be really, really good. And you were laughing, Sharon. How could you be laughing? That's okay. Anyway, on that friendly note, be good, be careful, be kind, and please, most of all, and I mean it sincerely, tell your loved ones you love them tonight, for tomorrow is never promised. I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And take care, everyone, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Oink, oink. Good night.